Welcome to another edition of After Hours. We're all off duty and having fun, talking about sci-fi and stuff. That was us.
It just says you went live.
Yeah.
I already knew that. I'm right here.
So I know that there was some interesting stuff happened this week and last weekend, and I can tell you in a day or two, John's getting visited by Commander of Starfleet. John disappeared.
Wasn't my fault.
We've been busted.
Oop. Damn iron storms. Or is it quantum singularity? You never know.
That was interesting.
Hope is not unheard of.
But like I said, there was some interesting stuff going on. And I'm not going to spoil anybody's thunder because, well, we can talk about what all we did in the last week.
So let's start the ball off with the panel. Tell us what you did, Richard.
No. He's a big one.
Then who?
What'd you do the last 2 weeks, Mark?
Last 2 weeks. Well, as a matter of fact, what was yesterday?
Thursday.
A work day.
What number of the month?
It was
it was, with you. May LaForge be with you, but
Yes, the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. And they had one showing only, fully restored, at Disney Springs. I went in costume with some friends.
Picture it didn't happen.
No picture, it didn't happen.
Pictures are on Facebook.
Dang it. I got too many things.
No shishu.
Now, you're telling me I gotta go find it?
No, they're on Facebook. They're
social behavior.
Yep.
Brought about by military service.
Maybe.
No, really. Anything called antisocial behavior is definitely created by military service.
Well, I'm looking. All I see is a guy standing in front of Goofy.
No, it's freaking Goofy.
Maybe this is it.
Yep. It should be a group of people.
Here we go.
That's my first Star Wars character in 30 years. He's a gray hat. In other words, a illegal skip tracer. There I am.
So
Normally I would be.
There I are. He are.
Oh yes. The gentleman in the red is Dylan Gillesco. He's a cosplayer. He does a lot of the stuff with the 501st there.
Okay.
And these are enthusiastic fans.
I can't imagine you finding enthusiastic fans there.
No, not at all. It was very boring.
I don't see any fans. And it's Florida. Without fans, you sweat to death.
Yeah. Yes, you will.
You'll notice they have the splashing water behind them.
All right.
Yeah.
So this is what happened in Orlando yesterday. At Disney Springs. That's fun.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's at Disney Springs, and they took the picture in front of the spring.
Yep, pretty much.
Okay, so you played at Disney Springs with for stuff. Jeff, What have you been up to the last couple weeks?
What have
Anything
I been
interesting?
doing the last couple? No, nothing at all. Nothing at all. Nothing exciting.
Didn't watch
nothing
anything
going on.
new.
Oh, I kept on watching Picard over and over. The end. The very end.
We're not going to spoil it. I'm going to give Richard one more show.
Oh,
And then
Right. I
Richard
appreciate
had an
Oh,
excuse. He had a
jeez.
major con.
Richard had a major con to get ready for and then participate in. He hasn't had a chance to watch.
And this one
Right.
picture I'm looking at is the only reason why he's getting the grace.
mm-hmm.
So, John, we know a little bit about your news because we keep seeing the man go all over Europe. And he's like, what, 5 seconds from your house right now?
No, I wish he was.
About 15 minutes.
About it's called we're staying. About 30 miles.
Is he
Now,
still in?
if you drive there in a car where he was this afternoon, how long would it take you to get there?
Well, it's islands, so what are you looking?
It's an amphibious car you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's bridges.
Not from
No,
England.
not
to
from
Ireland.
Mediterranean, not.
To Wales there is, but not to.
Mm.
Learn your onions, son.
Okay,
Learn your
so
onions.
so you'd have to take a ferry, so an extra hour. So how long if you took the ferry over?
Yeah, I've got to work it out. Hang on a minute. It's about.
He's probably about a 20-minute flight away from him, but once he hits Heathrow, it's about a 5-hour escapade all the way through the building and then out.
Well, we have a couple guys come over from England, TikTokers, and traveling, and they went from one state to the other, and realized that we have time zones within our country.
Mm-hmm.
Not like the whole country fits in one time zone. I said, you do realize that we have a state the size of all of Europe.
Yeah,
But-
you have. Yeah, we will.
No, you don't.
Texas,
It's not the size of all of Europe.
The Midwest is.
Texas is
Nope.
almost the size.
No. The entire
And
continent of
Alaska
Europe.
is.
No, it's not.
Texas is the size of Austria and Hungary.
Much
That's
more like
about the size of it. And it still doesn't quite fit per square mile. Just saying, been there, done that.
Versus
You're going to use Google to argue a point. If that's the
Yeah,
best you can do.
Hey. all we're dropping off is like
Pathetic.
it's 2/3 of the size.
Put it on the camera. Up here.
Quebec is about the size of the EC. Quebec is much bigger than Texas.
How about
Texas is
Alaska.
a little bigger than France,
It's
according to square miles. Anyway.
Germany. Come on, continue. Half of France, Germany, half of Austria. If they put it actually where it bordered.
Tell you what, put it on the number of square miles between the two areas, and I'm willing to bet it ain't the size of Europe.
That is the easiest way to do that. If you're going to do that, go continent, Europe, square mileage. Then do it the same for Texas. Then the same for Alaska. Europe is much bigger than both of them.
There seems to be some kind of a contest going on here.
there we go.
Yeah,
It's about
You do-
2/3 of the size.
dude.
Not bad.
I mean, you do realize from the top of Texas to the bottom of Texas is probably the same size as Great Britain, at least in that direction.
I think
And
Texas about 3 times. I think if you pick Texas, pick Colorado,
And yeah. So 2 of our states are bigger than all of Europe.
That is not even like close, sir.
Yeah, they cover, each of them cover 2/3 of Europe.
Excuse me. The border for Europe is the Ural Mountains. 1/3 of the way into Russia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
forgot
why.
they went into Russia.
Yeah.
Wait, Ukraine is in Europe? I thought that was in South.
Yes.
Yes, it is. It always has been.
Holy shit.
Eastern
when
Europe.
did they move?
When did they move?
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, jeez.
Oh boy.
I didn't know the map was changing that much. Hey, John, you better check your neighbors, man. They may have changed.
One of my
that's
former
hilarious.
classmates.
Whenever you put USA versus, it doesn't even show Alaska.
No, it probably doesn't because it wants to do continental.
Yeah.
But I mean, you should get when you go, to the wiki for the United States, it should give you the full square mileage.
Yeah.
Including Hawaii, your territories, none of which are big, and Alaska as part of that figure. They shouldn't be doing continental on that figure. And then it's just a matter of comparing those math numbers to what you want to do. But realize that Europe is a continent.
Right.
It's a big continent.
It is comparing apples and oranges. And when you compare North America versus Europe, you go, oh, shit.
Yeah, North America is much bigger than Europe. Europe is actually one of the smaller continents.
Yeah.
But it happened to be where white people were from, so
what? Well,
it became the more important one. Right?
Yeah, well, whatever. South America is even bigger. Holy shit.
I'd have to look at the mileage on that. It's definitely one of those things that would be a thing I'd look up and verify what those numbers are.
The boss man is going to be flying in or swimming into England soon because he's there to see the coronation. I know he said that.
Which is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's tomorrow.
We'll be meeting on Sunday.
So he's going to be there tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And going to meet up with y'all on Sunday.
Yes,
I'm sure he's going to go live.
I'm sure he will.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if his plane's going to be able to take off after leaving England. Because I saw the weight Ireland sent. Huh?
Because he will have bought that much scotch?
No. Ireland gave him like 30 gifts. So,
boy.
One was a com badge, so it's not too heavy. He can wear it on his jacket.
I did count right. They gave him 3 different com badges, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Combat small.
Every time I turned around, somebody pulled out a com badge. So, like I said, they sent him a lot of stuff to take back. So, and I know John's got a trophy for him.
Yeah. I'll show you it. I mean, I'll get it. I'll show you it.
You're muted, Chief. Jeff. Oh, okay.
He knows. He's talking.
So the reason why we're giving Richard grace is the man did a big con.
I was busy.
and the man got a picture with somebody that where's mine? That's all I gotta say is he got a picture I'm jealous of.
Yeah.
Richard.
Which one?
Yeah,
That
which one? There's this one.
I saw that picture. I'm like, you bastard.
Yes, that was the ship picture.
We're here long enough, old enough for children to be.
Oh shoot, sorry, but
Yeah, so-
I'm sweating in a warehouse, destroying walls, and that picture pops up at lunchtime.
And ceilings.
No, this thing fell down on their own.
Some of them did.
Our second officer had a thing about grabbing onto a piece of metal and swinging, and all of a sudden, half the ceiling would fall down.
So if I may, so starting at as I'm facing it, the left, which is John Holliday there. He's our senior chief petty officer. Then we have Patrick with the hat in the red, and he's our comms officer. He's commander. Then we have the newly christened Major Jeff Cromwell there, who's my deputy OIC. And then there's Captain Shaw. In the center with the beard with a darker beard, since now, is James McGuire, who is the captain of the Chinook. Obviously, then we have Captain Riker, who I think was at his panel, and someone called him Commander, and he got offended. It was hilarious. Because our booth was like where the main stage was like
Oh geez.
across. We couldn't see it, but we could hear it.
Oh man.
And then we had Man there in the red. She's also a commander. Then sort of in the back there's Derek France. Commodore France is also the RC of Region 10. And then my lovely face there with my uniform based on there's a uniform that Cisco wears like twice. It's just so that I don't have the sleeves, so I can wear multiple shirts, because I own multiple shirts for that one.
Yeah. I just got to say, if not recognizing that guy behind them, I'd have thought he was another member of your crew.
Well, there's a picture somewhere where he's clearer.
Huh?
That I sent you.
Your captain kind of covered him up.
We were trying to get into this shot, and because we had so many people, the camera guy was just sort of like giving directions, and like they kind of ended up making Todd sandwich there. And that was based on the photographer's camera directions.
Oh, that's cool.
Because obviously we could have moved Riker sort of differently and sort of had him sort of in a different position closer to James, and then we could have maybe spaced it out a little different. But basically, this is all based on how the photographer decided to take the photo. It's a great photo, but it does like kind of obscure Todd a bit.
And do you think that they got up in the morning and arranged their outfits?
You know what? I am not 100% sure on that. But they do match fairly well. And this was one of the special shots that they set up. So like this was one of the things that I'm sure lots of cons do. This isn't just Calgary, but Calgary likes to do shots where you could get you can get other people from the same show in the same shot.
Yeah.
When they had, I think it was 2014. When they had the entire Next Generation crew, you could get a shot with the entire crew for the princely sum of $795.
Ow.
And they all talk about how much they love the fans.
It was a $200 or $300 savings if you were getting individuals. This was a $5 savings, but we didn't really care about it.
How much did this cost?
It was $135 twice. because there's a max for 4 people, and we had 8.
Oh,
So they made us buy it twice, but
damn.
we shrugged and went, all right, fine. So
Okay, so
it just meant we all chipped in a little more than we
yeah.
planned, but everybody got into it, and Mayanne was super happy to do it because that was the
For
shot
the same
she was
price,
doing.
we can rent the studio.
So
Mm-hmm.
Mayanne's a longtime member of the ship. Hasn't always been able to come out. She has some mobility issues, but she was at the con. She happened to be there when we were organizing it. So we told her, hey, be here so that we can go out to the photo thing so she could be in the photos.
Well, that's a once in a lifetime thing for that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's a
No,
little bit-
I appreciated it. I mean, in the world of there are photos that I wish I had done or put more effort into doing things, and those people have now, gone to the appropriate locations.
Yeah.
It is unfortunate, but I mean, actually, that was something that occurred to me recently. Was
We need
the
to
fact
find
that
out.
if I had a time machine, I would probably use it just to go to concerts and stuff. So this is the command staff. So Derek France there, our C, who's also our ship purser, James and myself. This is part of the 501st booth that was at the con. They're sort of friendly rivalries to us. Although their tech is a lot better because 2 fully functional droids. They have this R2 unit, which is immaculate. And then there's also an R4, a red R4, like in A New Hope.
Yeah, our 501st has a lot of stuff. They do not have the functional droid, and I can tell you that because I had to pick the bitch up.
Yeah, no, there's a huge amount of props that are just over to the right of this.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those things. James wanted to make sure he had a lightsaber in his hand, and we were more chalant of like, no, we don't need their toys.
Well, come on. I made a Jedi carry the phaser rifle, so
Oh, that's always
fair.
Yeah, no, a phaser rifle's on our plan. So this was the Sunday. So Todd came by the booth because Andy, who is a member of the Astra, which is the ship before the Chinook / King Edward, he knew people in the back in handling and got Todd out to come and see us. You can see John in the shot. I'm in my walkout that I have for the brigade because of the fact it was Sunday and I knew I was going to have to put stuff away. That red thing is actually a Starfleet lunch kit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Derek grabbed it one time. Todd was really fun. We had a few minutes to chat and that with him. Everybody got to ask him a few questions. I didn't have a lot of questions for him because I was like, I know who you are. You're like a dipshit from sure. I
Just have a picture with him.
I didn't say that. But that was what was in my head because it was one of the few things other than no. And then
that's the fact that he was behind your booth.
Yeah. Why not? It was easier to take a picture to put him in behind the booth.
Yeah.
To be honest. And then Shannon there is our commander and she's our chief. She functions as our chief medical officer and she was promoted at the con. We had 2 promotions at the con and 4 promotions were carried out in short order during the con, but we haven't been able to necessarily give certificates to people. But this is literally just after setup. You can see here like pretty much all of our stuff. All of that Eagle Moss went to a single collector in an hour and a half. Someone just went, yep, I'll take all of that.
Nice.
You can see all these. Their first contact and insurrection. 1/6. I think they're one. No, wait, they might be 9-inch scale. Anyways, but yeah, they're fairly large figures. They're triples off to the side here. We had a number of books set up, and this is just before it opened and we get out. So this is Thursday. We've been setting up. That's why we are all in t-shirts there.
And from the last picture, it looks like you sold a lot at the con.
Oh yeah, no. We sold a fair bit at the con to do things. Definitely we need a reinvestment into more stock because we're low on books as well. So it was interesting to see. We'll see what else we can get. One of our challenges sometimes though is like, what can we get product wise that is reasonably priced that we can then turn around and sell. What you can't see here that you could see, I think in the Todd picture, is that we do have a big rack for con badges. So those are the pins. So back in the day, Hollywood Pins put out a bunch of pins in the 90s, right?
Yep.
And their manufacturer, after they went out of business, their manufacturer could sell to whoever. So we were buying those originally designed pins from the 90s. Trying to get some headlines on some other stuff because of that. But, licensing is licensing, and COVID hit China pretty hard, and those pins are manufactured in China. So they haven't responded to their emails. So hopefully they'll respond, or we'll get a new person. This is just before, I think, the parade. On Friday, we did a parade. I'd have to dig for those photos. I don't have them just super handy right now. And this is Jeff's promotion ceremony on the Friday. It's pretty much straight after the parade. Because I was just like, hey, everybody's here. Let's get this done. So sat there and promoted him to major. Largely because I hate Marine Captain. So, as the brigade OIC, I keep being a slight pain in my in various people's butts because I'm like, if you're just going to call them major anyways, just make them a major. That's my philosophy. So at the Wild Rose commissioning that was on Saturday night, there was a gentleman there who got promoted to Marine Captain, who I very subsequently said, yeah, that's not staying, because I didn't want it to stay. So we impromptu promoted him to major and then fixed it on the database later. So it's a thing. He works really hard, and realistically, there were no real objections to it. In fact, I think everybody was quite happy that I wanted him to promote it to major because it made their lives easier. Because I think they felt a little self-conscious about promoting him 2 grades, and I was like, no, just do it, because let's not make it confusing. But that's a choice the Marines made, and my answer to it is just you go from first lieutenant to major. Done. Whatever.
Yay!
But it was
Right.
It was a lot of fun. We had 5 ships, 4 Starfleet ships, 1 CAG ship with personnel at the commissioning, the full commissioning of the USS Wild Rose. So we had members from the Cerberus, obviously the Wild Rose, from the Chinook, and from the Atlantis, because former RC Paul Reed was there. And then we had I think it's IK. Is it C in CAG, or is it S in CAG? Mark?
CAG is KAG.
That was a KAG? Yes, that's
Klingon.
Yeah, but
Hello,
yes, but
Klingon.
what the ship's called? What's
Okay.
the abbreviation ship name?
The ship is basically they name it after an event or an important person in Klingon
All right, fine.
history
It's
or
called the
whatever.
Swift Talk, but I know there's
Swift,
some letters in
Swift
front of it.
Talk.
Yes.
IKS.
Well, it's either IKS or IKV. It depends upon.
So it's
Depends
IKS
upon who you
because I
question.
would remember a V more distinctly then.
Imperial Klingon ship or a clearing Imperial Klingon vessel.
Anyways, so the Swift Talk was there too. So 4 Starfleet ships in total, and then the Swift Talk, which was well enjoyed. And the captain of the Swift Talk, I owe throwback Pepsi to.
Cool.
Because I made him listen. Because he was listening to like humans talk. Because we had speeches, right? And the Klingons were like, really? Really? You're gonna have speeches from like 4 different people? Why?
That's a trophy.
Oh wow.
Damn.
That's
Yeah, he needs a bigger luggage rack.
Yeah. There you can see it on it.
Yeah.
cool.
See if I can.
Can you read it?
You do realize you can get a good rate from FedEx
Yeah.
Air to send all that stuff back.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah,
a
it
Dave
only
problem.
costs you like $150 per item, and you'll see it in like 3 years.
That's a Dave problem, Mark.
It
However he wishes.
if you couldn't see, it did say to Region 3, Russell Campbell Ward from USS its crew.
So, like we said, we visited Neutral Zone Studios and helped bring back a lot. Oh my God. A lot of the building was ruined by this egg roll factory.
Yes. But they make number one egg roll.
Main ingredient,
Man.
black mold.
Yuck.
In the walls.
Dude,
And
there
you
was
guys are
black
still-
mold everywhere. They ruined a lot of stuff.
Oh man.
And they built stuff like for us to take stuff out, we had to have somebody come move the air condition because they put it on a platform that it should never have been. The support beams on one of the walls was completely molded so bad that
When the little 15-year-old took the skin off of it, she kicked the wood, and at least up to mine or Sean's hip just crumbled and fell to the floor.
so we resecured we resecured some supports and gave some helpful hints, and my drill ran through like 9 demolition blades through the day, 2 days.
Yep.
We ran the battery completely out of all my drills and tools and
In less than a day.
somebody else's too.
In less than a day.
I think one of my blades is still in one of the pieces of wood hanging up because
No, actually, there's 2. There's the one upstairs, and then there's
I took that one down.
Oh, you took that one.
I cut that one out. So I made holes, portholes, everything, and I'm gonna say the people that were there Saturday, it was a large crew, and it was amazing the difference that
When we
one
walked
day
out of
made.
there.
When we got done Saturday, we were able to walk from one side of the building to the other without going outside.
Yeah.
So it was similar to how it was originally.
We opened the old tool bay and prop bay that they had, and when we did that, it just opened everything up.
And we got to spend some time with Vic. Vic was the original.
He was Captain Kirk of Star Trek Continues.
If you watch Star Trek Continues, there was like, 7 episodes?
10 or 11.
Or 11 episodes.
11. He wanted to do 13, but the studio stopped him.
So this is who we spent the weekend with. And 28 other people.
Yes.
Wow.
And Vic is a anime voice artist as well.
Yes.
So when he found out about the studio, he became a partner in the studio again. So this was his passion project, to get it back to how it was when they were shooting
Star Trek
continues. And I'm going to say this man worked his butt off.
Oh, yeah.
And
very impressive.
If I didn't know that they weren't lying to me, I thought he was about 45, 46 years old. He's 60 something.
60.
Yep.
And I'm 44. And I'm going to tell you, they kicked my ass. 2 days up there doing construction. I slept for 2 days when I got back.
We didn't do construction. We did destruction on a major scale.
Same difference. It's just
we took a crew of 7 day 2 and did the exact same volume of work as we did day 1.
So
not to belittle the incredible work of day 1, but day 2 we were just, with Vic's help, we were so stoked to get it done. We were definitely popping it quick.
If not for the air condition not being moved, we would have knocked down the wall in engineering completely.
Yeah, we would have brought it back
as it was.
engineering.
It's metal frame right now.
Yeah, it's exposed metal frame.
But we were asked not to put anything on
no photos on social media
except for this video.
Mm-hmm.
And this video was
engineering.
This video was actually allowed because it was showing that we were bringing back the studio to the original shooting setup. The replay video. I wonder if it will actually play sound. Hold on.
When we shot Star Trek Continues, this is our beautiful engineering room show, everybody. And we've taken over the other half of the building again.
These are the people that work with us.
This wall has got to come down, and
Oh, that's dizzy.
I am incredibly privileged. The first one, send it down. Yes! Let's take it down.
And I'm going to say that that video was shot at like 3:30 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
We started at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I didn't. Okay.
What was that?
The sound from the broadcast was looping back.
Oh, okay.
So I closed it. So basically, we had been working all day long, and Vic goes, "You see that wall right there?
One more thing.
We're getting rid of that today." And so before we left, we cleared one whole side of the wall.
And half the other side.
And at least 6 foot tall.
We got 8 foot, 8 foot of panels on the engineering side, and on the other side we got
6.
About 6 feet of sheetrock off.
We had to take lights down. They had a tour the next day at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
We had the construction lights still up in the warp core. We had the lights on the floor and a ladder. And we arrive and we come in the back way, and I'm signaling them to be quiet because the tour group's sitting in engineering, and 2 people turned to look at me.
Literally, here's these metal, and he comes and freezes and goes. And we're kind of like, and we hear them all talking in there. Like, okay, we're not moving past here, and they already saw Sean.
We backed out, went around, and went to the office area and talked to him for a minute. But just the amount of stuff, and there's still one wall that has to come out.
Mhm.
Kind of glad I'm not there right now
And one has to be rebuilt.
because they were pressure washing the floors in this egg roll plant, and it was just disintegrating the walls in the set. So we got all that cleaned up, and then they started taking down dividing walls.
Mhm.
And once we cut a couple supports down, I'm sitting outside and I hear kaboom. And I'm like, I'm not in there, so I know I didn't do it.
8 foot from the back wall, 12 foot high. Down shoeing.
All I know is I come in and they're jumping on the wall to break up the stuff. And I'm just looking at our SO going, you're way older than me. How do you have any energy left? And not one of us left without a bruise, a cut,
A scab or 3 or 5.
we were bandaging Vic up because every time he turned around, he got cut by something else.
That's okay. He got mad at me when he got that cut right here, and they put a band-aid on it. He looked at this. He said, "Wait a minute, that's no fair. You didn't put a band-aid on that, and this one is all the way across here." And they said, "Yeah, but all we have is band-aids."
But literally, it was one of those things. Like you said, 7 people went in Sunday, and we left at 3 because I was starting to feel sick, real bad sick.
Yeah.
And got done with almost the same amount of work. A little bit different setup, but we got done with the same amount of work with those 7 because we knew that this small area had to get done. And when we left, they had that area. You could have put a half court of basketball in that one area we cleared from the roof up or down. So it's just saying that we're about to go live.
Oh, cool.
Too late.
Let me know when we're there.
But the nice thing is we are considered as being members of.
We're a little beyond friends of Neutral Zone Studios.
So,
not fully staffed yet, but we're a little beyond friends.
Well, that's good for you guys.
So future interviews that we secured. Ray from Neutral Zone Studios, the manager and director, he is going to come on. Vic is going to come on. And we secured a friendship and interview with D.
Gregory.
D. Gregory.
Unique human being. Funny, U.S. Navy vet. We just had a blast. Hard work, yes. Very tiring, yes. Slightly not so good for your health, maybe. However,
don't drink water at the Japanese restaurant.
Oh yeah, don't no. In Kingsland, Georgia, bring your own water or buy it in a bottle. Do not. Sean and I had tea. Green tea actually should taste good.
Yes.
No.
Wow.
The sushi was all right. The tea was bad. So this is D. Gregory.
That's D and
Vic. And if you remember my pictures from Sci-Fi Barto, same person.
Oh, okay.
And there he is.
Yep.
And him and his wife were there, and I'll tell you what, the people that were there had a passion for this place. And I know for a fact that there is one Starfleet International chapter that pretty much runs the studio up there. And they aren't local.
No.
None of them are local.
No, they're from right near Jeffrey's little neck of the woods.
So
Mm-hmm.
Vic came from Texas.
Which
Vic
ones
came
are
from
they?
Texas. Vic flew in from Texas, and we had Ray came from
Auburndale.
no,
South of Auburndale.
no, that was Tina. Ray came from Boca Raton
No, from Boca.
or
Okay.
south. He was 6 hours from the studio.
Oh,
in
yeah, that
Florida.
was it, yeah.
So when I say that Florida had a lot of people there,
Oh yeah, we ain't kidding.
and everybody drove from all over, anywhere from 2 to 6 hours away to come and just help out.
Except Vic, he flew 5.5 hours and then drove 3.
But it was one of those things of we were dead tired and they were still going and they were out at the pool. And that was the other thing. They arranged for us to have a half off discount at the inn. And better breakfast than we would have paid to have regular breakfast.
Oh yeah.
And at the cost
Not
of
your typical hotel breakfast.
Sorry, that reminds me of a story recently of I was in an SCA event and there was a comment about how the breakfast eggs were clearly like powdered eggs from like the same source as the Canadian military.
Wonder if that's Crystal.
And of course this is a Canadian military vet telling us this thing of like, I'm like, and there are only 6 people who can make powdered eggs taste good. Yeah, and they're still in the Canadian military because they don't want to let them go.
You
They're the ones with the CD that has all of the freaking bars on it.
He
They're
did
like, if we
leave.
get rid of these people, we are screwed.
He did leave one thing out in that statement, Richard. That's worldwide. There are only 6.
But we went to Friday night. We went to Waffle House, and we're like, "Oh, we'll go to Waffle House throughout the weekend." Man, I had breakfast at the hotel. We ain't going back to Waffle House.
Yeah,
That's
They
a
had
sin in some
The
places.
first day they had omelets, fresh homemade waffles, perfectly cooked bacon, potatoes, every fruit you could think of, every juice you could think of, cereal. And then the next day they did almost the same thing. I'm like, if we went to breakfast, we would have been spending $15-20 each for what we got.
Now I'm hungry too.
You're welcome, Richard.
Sorry. But I gotta say, if all Best Westerns are as good as that place, they're damn sure worth going to.
Yeah.
Oh, and then cookies at night.
Yeah, fresh baked cookies at night.
We're going out to dinner, and they're bringing fresh cookies to put into the area for
We're like,
everybody.
Fair.
So, like I said, it was like for 3 guys, I think it was $80 a night, and we definitely got our money's worth.
We
from
got about
breakfast.
$130 worth a night out of between breakfast and the cookies and the staff was incredible. With Special Olympics, I go to hotel, motel. And let me tell you something. If they tell us if next time when they say there's a Best Western, that's where we're going. I don't care what Special Olympics says. I'll pay the extra.
That's just fair.
So, like I said,
Mhm.
granted, I can't afford to go up there all the time, but they do have a fan weekend every month
At least one, sometimes two.
where you can go and tour the studio and check the place out. If you're a member of the group, you pay a certain amount a year. They invite you all the time to go and play different parts in the fan films.
Cosplay Starfleet officers. You can cosplay Klingons. You can cosplay Romulans. You can cosplay. So we have been told, and Mark's our witness. He was there.
Right.
He said, "You guys want to come up here dressed as Klingons and lead tour guides? You're welcome.
Mhm.
Bring it on up." So,
Oh, I did find where the what are those hairy little guys from Starfleet that made the roof access?
there we go.
Not Romulans, not
The pig face ones, Tellarites.
yeah, Tellarites. We found out that the Tellarites did the edit there because I swear to God, both of us knocked ourselves out trying to get out of the building.
Yeah.
I'm going to get more blades because I broke a blade and hit my head. Went, damn Tellarites.
Sean, Vic, and I get up there, and Sean goes, "Oh my God, they have these long cubbies in the back, and this is over the egg roll factory." And Sean goes, "Look, it's their living quarters." And Vic goes, "Yes, must protect recipe for #1 egg roll."
Dude, the sad part was the cubbies were about the same size as the round apartments that they have in Japan.
The hotel rooms, the little capsules.
So I looked at it, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. They slept here too?
No, they're probably just their staff places, right?
That was just for command staff, executive staff.
No, okay. They just load them in
Maybe the
corporate.
two long ones at the end were for the president and the vice president. Everyone else squeezed into a little
As
one.
much mold as we took out of that place, I am glad I don't eat there.
No kidding.
Oh my Lord. Like I said, it wasn't a joke when we said the main ingredients in those egg rolls were black mold.
And you guys are still upright? Wow, I'm amazed.
I didn't touch the one wall because we said we needed bleach before we did that.
Oh yeah.
But
Damn.
I've never seen wood eat pressure treated wood.
Eaten by mold before. It's the first time for me, and I was a building inspector. It was literally eaten to the point of dissolving.
So, like I said, I'm glad that they took back over. They have the Gate of Tomorrow.
They have the Guardian of the Gateway of Forever. They have the Guardian.
Great.
Belongs to Vic.
It won't be moved anytime soon before they get a forklift. But that's going to be in the one area that used to be
in part of what we were clearing up. It's going to be over there.
They're going to put that there. They're going to build a shuttle crash scene there and some other stuff. And just what they want to add. Shut up.
What is that?
Scam likely.
Not going to broadcast.
I wanted it to go away. It wouldn't. I know that they're working on a Klingon bridge and possibly a Romulan bridge so that they can do the opposing ships. but now they have the space to be able to put up areas. They're going to move wardrobe and makeup. There's some office type spaces where they're air conditioned. So that will be nice. And now they have enough power because of the restaurant area to add air conditioning to the set. So they're working on a grant so that during the summer where they can't really use that building,
They will be able to use that building.
they're putting in some grants so that they can afford to start air conditioning the main sets as well. So in the future, Neutral Zone Studios will be accessible all year round. Now, one of my things that I suggested was possibly, don't know who that is.
What is-
We're looking at possible locations to pitch for Region 2 Summit next year. And one of my suggestions was do the summit at the studio.
That takes it away from Winter Haven. The whole idea is Winter Haven.
It takes it away. Winter Haven in June and July sucks.
I've been here. I know.
We have nothing sci-fi happening in June and July.
You know, there's a first time for everything.
And we're
Oh, ye of little faith.
have you seen the people of Region 2 in Starfleet?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of them.
Not up close and personal.
I have a lot of them.
The only way to enjoy Florida is in shorts and no t-shirt. I don't want to see myself that way.
I see. Well,
Yeah.
you know,
If they get air conditioning there, we could shoot a Region 2 movie.
well, we're working on it. I'm working on it. I've got 30 different things going on. Talking to about 24 different people.
But it's one of those suggestions that it
Okay,
doesn't.
I'll wake you up and you can come to some of these meetings with me.
No.
That's what I get. I get no respect. I get no respect at all. I feel like Rodney Dangerfield.
You don't have a tie on though that you need to tug at.
But you can't even fish good in Florida during July.
That's because fish are smarter than people.
Yeah, no kidding. It's hot. I tried fishing. The fish look at you and go, "No, I'm not hungry. Why? Have you seen the temperature out there?"
As you're pulling me up, I get boiled, then broiled, and I'm done.
You know, I was just thinking of options so that we would have like a Star Trek themed.
Yes, I understand that.
Oh, and power to that, Sean. It's a great idea. Just, you know.
Well, yeah, and the beauty of it is, I like the idea. Just so you know, Ray liked the idea.
I know Ray liked the idea.
Jake loved the idea. So it's not off the table. It's just one of those. I'm not sure, but I'm working. I'm trying to figure out how.
Hot dogs and Velveeta.
That's an interesting mix. Vita dog.
Oh,
Makes
The best bait.
Okay.
Also, a damn good hot dog if you wrap the in Velveeta and then you put it in cornbread dough and then you put it in a deep fryer.
And then
I
you
can't argue with that, Drew. I
right off
can't.
the hook.
You know that
Fishing in
around here,
Florida.
you're eating
Again, you are making me very hungry.
That's Crystal.
Don't blame us. Thank you, Captain. Anyway,
But
yeah, she's on our crew.
no, yes, that does work, and I can tell you a lot of other stuff that works too. But during the summer, unless it's at night. No. Florida's hot.
There's a problem with night fishing. Skeeters.
I don't have that problem. We have this thing called citronelle and smoke.
Uh-huh. All right. Well, I guess in Florida you have pussy skeeters then.
Okay, Florida has.
Come on down.
This actually was purchased because he needed a place to put his pet mosquito.
No,
and it's a baby. He's waiting for it to grow up.
When I was in
That's why he
high
owns a
school,
pickup.
we went to the bombing range, and they have tents at the bombing range that have floors. No mosquito netting. You would lay down on the floor, and at certain times you would hear
Those are the females, and they're the ones that would carry malaria.
Yeah.
And typhoid. And
at one point, they thought that the aircraft were doing a bombing run until they turned on the flashlight and saw the mosquitoes.
Well, I mean, when I was in high school, I lived in Yellowknife. Yellowknife bought Patriot missiles to deal with our skeeter problem.
Do you know why America, in this, especially in the South, puts their missiles under the ground? Because the mosquitoes that hit it in such a big force, they'll fall out of place. They fire out of the tube, and all that smoke comes up, and the mosquitoes won't go near it. It has a chance to escape.
You know that video of the plane turning around and going back to the airport because they think they hit a bird? Nope, it was a mosquito. It was from Florida. And the mosquitoes aren't even the worst of it.
Oh, I mean, but the thing is that you can see a black fly coming. It's about yay big, about the size of a triple.
We have something.
You get a 30-30 and shoot it.
We have something called no-see-ums. And at certain spots in Florida, they have the ability to make it to your face standing up. I went through one camp that was so bad in 20 minutes, the people that were not allergic to these bugs got sick.
Mm-hmm.
It is a swamp. I mean, what do you want?
This wasn't the swamp area, though. This was in Orlando.
Isn't Orlando built on a swamp?
I have a physical therapist, and walking from her office to the library, which is barely the length of a parking lot.
Huh.
Starting about the middle of this month, I'm going to be, and
well, we could take everybody to Legoland and have them build Legos all day long.
That's what I was thinking. The toy, have SFI gather in there and see if we can put together a starship.
That sounds like
they got enough blocks in the pool.
You're going to help me with
the foam one, yeah, that one's not bad. That one shouldn't be hard.
Yeah, but it's going to look good.
Now, getting enough blocks out of the swimming pool in Legoland to build a starship, that might take a while.
Well, I think Mark's frozen.
Hang on. I'm back.
No.
There we go.
There you go.
But yeah, it's just we figured out some ways to not have to deal with the things. All right, man.
John.
John's going to take off. He's got to go see the king
John,
Dude,
are you
his
going to
crown-
actually be at the coronation?
Pardon?
Are you going to be at the coronation?
No, I wish I could do. No, I'm watching on TV.
But
Because
you're,
it starts 8 o'clock in the morning.
but you're an SFI. You should be like allowed. Just
Hey, John, do you know what time it is for here? 1 a.m.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous.
God damn.
What time is it right now, John?
Now it's 1:07.
Yep, they got summertime.
Hmm.
You're gonna have to. I'm gonna remember that extra hour. Sorry.
That's right. That's right.
Like I said, I looked up GMT 0 versus Eastern Daylight Time, and it said 12 right now.
Yeah.
I didn't think you guys had daylight savings time, but all right. I can be wrong. I decided to vote.
John, good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Good luck,
Please
John.
live long and prosper.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself. See you again.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Give Mark David the best. One of them. Who's there? David.
I would watch the coronation if it wasn't for the fact that it was starting so early.
Yeah, that is a little bit early.
Like, if it was starting at noon their time, I probably would be up for it anyways, because my body doesn't let me sleep in. It likes to sit there and go, it's 6 o'clock. You're supposed to be at work in an hour. I'm like, I don't have to go to work on Saturday.
99 days out of 100, my body literally still says it's 4 a.m. Get up.
That's gotta hurt.
It does around 9:30.
I managed to get my my clock to reset after the 5 years of being up at 4 a.m.
Look who's here.
Who's here?
Hey,
A mysterious person. Yeah.
Steven,
Steve. He's here.
come on in.
Come on.
Unless you're at work again.
Wait. Before he answers that question, do we want to place odds on how that he's at work?
No, I'm pretty sure he is.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
How's
since he
the
got a little
puppy?
bit of a promo.
Glad to see you.
A little bit of a promo, which means more slave labor for the organization. Just saying.
These are the type of monsters that come out of the lakes here.
It's Tapia.
Tilapia. Yeah.
Yep.
6 pounds.
That seems
I get a 41
that seems
pound
small. But like,
dogfish.
it's not a fish I've ever fished for, so
Dogfish.
I wouldn't know. Is that small? I don't know.
No.
I'm not I've fished for pike and salmon and trout and
Those are giant fish. Here. That's a 1.5 pound bass there. Let me hold on. Let me find.
The infamous dogfish. Like,
I was reviewing my buddy that passed away's photos because we'd always go fishing together. But I know that I've got a bigger bass than that. That's about the average size.
yeah, because I caught I got a 2.5 foot long pike once, which is the short one, because my dad caught like a 4.5 foot one. But Lord knows what that picture is.
well, that's a good one.
That's a 2.5 pound bass,
Cool.
and average is about 3 to 4 pounds. 2 to 4 pounds. If you get anything above a 6 pound, that's a big fish. The the fish that was across that tilapia, you could put 3 of these inside of that.
Okay.
And then that is what's called a panfish or brim. It's about the size. That's about the size of my hand. And these are what we would get 20 or 30 of. Chop off the head, scale them, gut them, and fry them up for fish fries.
That's what catfish are for.
The catfish are all different. This is bait.
And you need a spoonbill.
But unfortunately, you will not see the mosquitoes. I don't have pictures of those because I kill them too quickly. It's literally yep. But when we're in the boat, we bring citronelle candles and stuff like that for fishing at night. I use a green headlamp instead of the white ones.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll take like a spotlight and put the light out there. So I'll hang it off the side of the boat so the mosquitoes are close to the water, attracting the fish versus trying to kill me.
They don't want to kill you. They want you to stay alive. They just want to eat.
No, them vampires will kill you.
I mean, I've been salmon fishing out on the Strait of Georgia too. So
I would love to salmon fish, but those what your normal salmon's like this?
oh, it depends, but yeah. I mean, it tends, if you're fishing in run, yes, you're going to
They're
get
only
fish like
this
that.
long, and they're about that top to bottom, and they're about that fat.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
your
like
average
a
pike's
fish is a couple meals.
Your average pike's what? 5-6 pounds?
5 to 10 probably is actually more.
See, the fish that
They're
are
big and long. They're basically like a barracuda, except they're freshwater.
Yeah, we have to go to get stuff normally that weight outside of some of the bass, in which you got to get lucky.
Yeah, I mean,
anything like that size outside of the tilapia are not native. The carp.
Spoonbill's native.
Yeah, but those are saltwater. We're talking about freshwater. We don't have fish that big. Not native. We do have things that are bigger than that. And I'll put your pike against our 12-foot gator.
You don't line fish for a gator.
But if you go to the marshy areas and ocean, you'll have the redfish, the sea bass, and all. Those are normally the bigger fish. But inside the state, what you saw was probably one of the bigger fish you'll find.
Mm-hmm.
And those are nettable fish.
You can get off of Florida, you get Atlantic cod.
Yeah.
And you can get Atlantic salmon.
Good luck.
I'm just saying, off the coast, you can. As a matter of fact, for the Atlantic salmon, you'd have better luck in the Gulf than you would in the Atlantic.
That takes a boat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does.
I'm talking foot on ground, or land.
And Atlantic salmon are smaller than Pacific salmon.
There's a couple bridges that are around here that you can fish off of that are in the ocean area that
See, I'm
get some big fish, but for the most part, you're looking at anything between 2 to 4 pounds is the average. Unless you're trying to get the alligator gar.
Which you could.
You go to certain golf courses, all you have to do is run across with a little chihuahua. They'll find it.
No, that's the alligator. I was watching TikTok and this person was pulling a fish out, and all of a sudden the gator went after the person. I was like, "Yep, somebody's feeding that damn thing."
Funny thing you should mention that they actually have a rule in the PGA handbook that if a gator, especially it applies to the South, if a gator eats your ball, you're allowed to play through with a new one. Because that actually happened on the Palm course at Disney during one of the events.
What was that?
Oh, that's nice.
These are alligator gar.
I'm not shocked that the gator ate him.
Oh, that's a
ball.
really
Yeah, they don't care, man. Anything that comes in front of them, they're basically they're the oldest garbage disposal on the planet.
in Florida, we have that I know of 2 golf courses that you're playing through, and all of a sudden you get stop as you see a 14-foot alligator walk across the grass.
Mm-hmm.
Here you go. That's probably the biggest fish we have.
That's a big fish. I'm not going to pretend it's not a big fish.
We don't play with that fish.
No.
As a quirky thing, though, it should be called the crocodile gar, not the alligator gar.
Yeah, true. And you do realize Florida is one of the few places on Earth that have crocodile.
No, alligator.
Hold on.
Alligator is the rare one.
No,
we have both.
Because of
Lots of places have crocodile.
Exotic pets. Florida is.
No, we have native.
Yes, but there's lots of crocodiles. There aren't lots of alligators.
Huh?
That's an American crocodile, native to Florida.
Yeah, that's fine. That's not debated. But it's the American alligator and, I think the Chinese alligator. And there are basically only the 2 kinds of alligators.
Well, Richard, you come on down here and show us the difference between the 2 types.
That's real easy, Richard. That's real easy. If one gets a hold of your leg, if one saws, it's a crocodile. If the other one snaps, it's a gator. Of course, you'll be beyond caring.
I just gators have big, broad snouts, and alligators have narrow snouts. And there's something about how teeth fit together, but I don't remember that part.
Crocodiles have narrow.
Yeah, which is what I said.
Alligators
have broad snouts. Crocodiles have narrow snouts.
You said the opposite.
I honestly did not.
You want to
whatever. I'm not going to hear. Fine, later we'll watch it off YouTube and to prove me right. That's fine.
But
next show we'll play it back for you.
We had at the Reno Short we had an albino crocodile or alligator and a black alligator, which is one of the rare alligators as well.
Yeah, well, but that's probably high. I have a genetic challenge, or I mean, if you're an albino, you have a defect, but you could have the opposite effect, which is you have way more melanin than you're supposed to, which gets
just come down and visit Gatorland here in Kissimmee.
Yeah, I'm sure we could. I'm
You-
sure.
You'll learn more about alligators and crocodiles than you ever want to know,
Yeah.
and it will be fun.
And they might let you feed them.
Yeah. Hey, I'd jump for half a barbecued chicken.
I could. Yeah.
I can't do that.
I mean, that's fair, but whichever.
With a fishing pole.
X's.
Yeah, they have the gator jumperoo. That's a regular show. No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, after
They
all,
can jump pretty
after
high.
all, it is an alligator farm, among other things.
Yeah.
Gator tail tastes like chicken.
Yep.
You know, if everything in the
And
world
it
tastes
hits
like
a
chicken,
semi.
why do we eat anything else?
Because some of us don't like chicken.
Sucks to be you.
Pretty
When everything
much.
tastes like chicken.
But everything
don't-
doesn't taste like chicken. What tastes like chicken is like stuff that is related to chicken.
Alligators.
Yeah.
Alligator doesn't taste like
They're reptiles. Birds are dinosaurs, dude. Or close enough relatives, therefore, of that, like, realistic.
They have found the DNA chain that takes the chicken back to the T-Rex.
Yeah. So
So if you want to
found
watch
it. They found it in January of this year. They finally actually identified the DNA string.
these two guys came over from England to tour the southeast U.S. and they went
they
to
lived?
Louisiana and had crawfish. First of all, England doesn't cook with spice.
correct.
They went from
Claws.
no spice
Blame the Victorians.
to, oh my God, my booty's hurting. They had crawfish and didn't know how to eat it. They're sucking on everything. So the one guy takes all the juice out of the crawfish with very little meat because I'm stuck in the bathroom. I was like, first of all, if you've never had spice,
Don't
don't
go to
start
Cajun
with
country.
Cajun.
Welcome to Cajun country.
But he tried, the one guy tried biscuits and gravy. He goes, first of all, this isn't what we call gravy. And he picks up the biscuit and he takes a bite out of it, covered in gravy.
Yeah.
And somebody said, that's not how you eat that, dude.
Well, you didn't give him directions, so I don't know why you would think he'd know.
He's holding a fork and a knife.
That doesn't.
And then he picks up the biscuit that's covered and goes, nope. I'm looking at him going, okay. Then, this is the hilarious part. He liked grits.
Well, nothing wrong with that.
He said, oh, it's kind of like porridge.
You know,
It's
my
true.
favorite,
It
my
is,
favorite
actually.
thing that I got from Canada, we'll get to Richard's, my country there, is super crispy French fries sitting in a cup full of gravy. Yeah, baby. That's
That
how
actually
it's
sounds
supposed
good.
to be done.
It's true. But yeah, I mean, a biscuit to him would have been something he would have picked up. Like that's what he would have thought of.
Yeah. It's somewhere,
Uh-oh.
it's like half a.
I think we lost the admiral.
Oh, he's just.
I remember I had a girlfriend that lived in Fraser, and I used to go up there just simply because I knew the place that had the best fries. And I'd be like, and they say, and she literally would go, the waitress, after a while, she said, would you like beef gravy or chicken gravy? I said, beef, please.
I believe I have probably eaten at that place in Fraser.
Probably. I think everybody said that.
So
Because
Yeah, that place is good.
I've definitely done the route that we've gone through there a few times in my life.
So is there Buc-ee's in Canada?
No.
A what?
Oh,
Buc-ee's.
Uh-oh.
B-U-C space E-E's.
No.
Buc-ee's.
We got Popeyes like in the last decade.
okay. So
Yeah, I know.
how do I explain Buc-ee's? Anybody or was there the original Walmart, the one that didn't have the grocery store attached in Canada?
Back in the day.
Okay. Buc-ee's is
You've had
basically,
Walmart a long time.
Buc-ee's is basically that store with 100 gas pumps attached to it.
Okay.
And a bathroom that you could move in at least a platoon.
Yeah, okay.
We go in this thing and you can't be considered a convenience store. Holy shit. You go in.
Not 100% sure. I may have seen this on a YouTube or a
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
probably.
sure you have.
You go into the store, and if you go in the wrong side of the store, it's like 4 football fields that way. And it's packed with people.
Yeah, I don't have, like, in Canada, we tend not to have quite as big a store as that. I've certainly been in my share of convenience stores that are really large, but several of those convenience stores are suspiciously in small towns, and you kind of go, you're kind of the in-between a convenience store and a grocery store, because this town is too small to have an actual full-serve grocery store.
Okay, do you have... What's the other one? Wawa.
Not by that name, at least.
Do you have gas stations that have like small restaurants in them?
They have truck stops.
Yeah, we have truck stops. We have Huskies.
You think you're back? You think they're that far backward?
Husky is a fairly. They usually have a restaurant in a lot of their like Western Central Canada. Gas stations.
So multiply your normal truck stop by 4 and add 4 different like hibachi style
it's
food
3
court
it's
places.
literally 3 of the southern Aldergrove, the airport Huskies. It's 3 of those.
Okay.
Huge.
Yeah, okay. That's big.
See, I've been there. I could give him an idea. This is where you can go see.
Okay.
And they put a hibachi grill right in the middle in the back.
However, that's not the most amazing part.
Yeah.
They have 2 football fields that are bathrooms.
And you need them to be bathrooms.
You go into this place and 100 feet back, all the way to the wall, there are sinks. Along this wall is urinals. Along those 2 walls is toilets. And then
he's not lying.
Yeah, you have a bigger highway culture, and you have more highways intercrossing your area than we do in Canada.
None of our truck stops have this. All truck stops should have this bathroom.
They used to.
Oh my God. And each bathroom has 2 attendants full time.
Well, see, that's the problem with the way things have changed, because there was a time that all bathrooms and truck stops were massive. They were huge, and they had another wall that you would go around where the toilets were, and there were shower stalls.
You could have eaten off the floor of this bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
It was so clean.
Not the first time we stopped, huh, Mark?
Ooh.
Somebody had done a nasty spill.
It was Mark.
No, it wasn't.
You.
Mark. No,
Like the attendant said, just walk around it. It's fudge. It's like, no, dude, that is not fudge.
But at
I
least
was-
they were cleaning it.
I always like, it's not so fun to do to Americans who generally do long road trips, so they at least know what the distance and the time is like. It's just you guys cross like
Everywhere.
multiple states, except for small exceptions of if you're in Texas or you're in Australia or in Alaska, right? Where obviously different story. But in Canada, you can drive 6, 8, 10 hours and not leave a province.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Florida. You start from Miami and go towards Texas. It's 15 hours.
Yeah, but you have to start down here. You don't go to Texas. You go from here up, and then you go that way.
It's true.
Yeah.
In Canada, like you leave Bellingham, you hit the Canadian border in Blaine, you go across, and from there I could spend, if I continued to go north, I could stay in British Columbia for at least 18 and a half hours.
Jesus.
Easy.
Depending where you're going, because it depends where you're going to exit. If you're going to Whitehorse from Bellingham, that's like a full.
That's a
24
fun
hours,
run.
26 hours.
Hey, I've been to Whitehorse 3 times, each time by boat. Fuck no.
From where we are, it's about 4 hours
That's
to the
cheating.
closest border.
Because I had friends with boats. We just
Shit.
I mean,
Well,
I'm almost 3 hours from the U.S. border in Calgary here,
yeah.
and I'm
I've been in your.
in
I've been
Alberta. I am considered fairly close to the U.S. border by living in Calgary.
Yeah.
I have been to several of the stampedes. I know. So,
But we did find out something that I messed up. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna give plenty of space for all of our luggage, and I'm gonna sit in the smallest chair in the world. And I didn't realize that the suspension on the back of a ridge line
most trucks are
doesn't
like
fucking exist.
Yeah.
that. Most trucks are like that.
So
Yeah.
I'm in the jump seat, and there's a wall here. And 30 minutes before we arrive, I feel like I'm getting punched in the kidney. I was like, I will never do that again.
Japan's revenge.
They were like, do you need a bathroom? I said, no, if I get out of this truck, I'm never going back in it. Because it literally felt, that last 30 minutes felt like I was getting punched. The way back was better. Of course, I slept half of the.
That's okay. You should have seen Tori's face. First time she got in the back seat, she jumps in and she's like, okay, I'm ready to go there. And then she goes, oh, gross. What's this? The soda bottle that he spit the sunflower seed shells into.
Oh, shit.
Whoops. What? She's like, what is that? And when we
Well-
told her, she's like, huh? Because she likes sunflower seeds.
She literally took my seat because they decided to go.
No, you used her seed.
No, we weren't home yet.
Mm.
She jumped in my seat. She rode in the car. There.
Oh.
Remember,
Mm-hmm.
we weren't home yet. They decided we're going to go to.
She didn't see it that night. She saw it the next day.
Oh,
And she's like,
whoops.
oh, gross.
I
And we're
thought
kinda
I'd
like,
emptied
what?
it out, but
You know what? It doesn't matter. When we told her what it was, she didn't care. But if just the first sight, what is that?
oh, and I did find that Buc-ee's for $1.09 has a package of dark chocolate espresso beans that was a pretty good snack.
Yeah, you went to sleep, what, 3-4 days later?
No,
Yeah.
3-4 minutes later.
Dude,
Surprise.
You were tired.
I can eat a full bag of those and still go to sleep right away.
Well,
About an hour later, I was asleep.
I surprisingly can do similar things.
No, it wasn't even that far. I think I fell asleep not far from Bucky's.
We used to, when I used to go
Here I
up
am.
to cruise up to Aldergrove to see Sandy. Sandy and I are both coffee drinkers. Her mom and dad, serious teetotalers. They seriously wanted to know what was wrong with Sandy.
What? Well,
Because she loved coffee so much. And I remember when her mother said to her dad, "You need to just be quiet because she finally found a man that knows how to make coffee. She might get married."
whoops.
I've always.
I mean, that's one way to impress your in-laws.
I wasn't looking to do that, son. Seriously.
Caffeine
No, but I get it. Like,
doesn't work on me.
Yeah, that's one way.
Caffeine is a sleep inducer for me.
Yeah. It doesn't boost me up. Caffeine will put me to sleep.
I believe, I believe we have covered that. So
Yeah.
well, I guess
And
that, I forgot.
I didn't buy the espresso beans on purpose. I thought they were almonds
Oh, okay, I get it.
because it was dark chocolate almond, dark
Almond,
chocolate
espresso
with
I'm a heretic.
coconut
I like
and almond, and I thought that was a third flavor. When I got in the vehicle, I went, espresso beans?
Oh, these are espresso beans. You want one? Yeah. So I took one.
Yeah, okay.
I only took 3.
You took a whole handful
Didn't know it.
because I handed you two times. But
You were imagining that.
I was imagining my eyelids after a while there. But I'm just saying, as hard as we worked that weekend, I didn't care if I ate at night. I was willing to go to bed right when I got back home. That's how tired I was.
All right, next time we're sending a helicopter up to get Jeffrey.
Jeff just wants to see espresso beans.
Oh, I'm just listening to the good sounds of friends talking.
No, to go to neutral zone. Next time we go up there, we'll send a helicopter up for Jeffrey.
All right, I'll be waiting on the helipad. Nearest one's about 4 miles away, I think.
There you go. That'll be where. Oh God, that place is great.
Yeah.
What's the extra camera for?
I'll be honest. I live not far from the
Can't do that.
I'm only showing.
airport here in Calgary, so
Oh, okay.
I'm about the same as Jeff there. Oh
No, I still have sleeping problems at night. Complicated with people dings every 5 seconds yesterday.
Doing what every 5 seconds?
My phone was dinging every 5
This time
seconds.
it wasn't
8
on.
o'clock.
Nope, not me.
Facebook going badoop.
Mute.
Ding 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 ding.
Well,
ding.
it's coming from everybody yesterday.
Well,
and
no.
I do want to say I do appreciate the well wishes that I received from everybody, including Drew and Sean and
Oh wait,
everybody else yesterday.
wasn't it your birthday yesterday?
Yes, yes.
Oh, whoops.
I was.
Yeah, well,
That's,
this year
that's
I
a
made.
completely
I,
different thing, Jeff.
no, I was.
Happy
I
birthday,
was,
sir.
I was actually a little panicking over the birthday, being this is the 65th year of my existence, growing around the world. But it was calm all day. And got a German chocolate cake for my birthday. I mentioned it to some girls at a local pantry, and they brought out a cake for me.
Girl didn't make those cookies.
Yeah, she did. They ate them before we got back.
Yeah,
Well, that was not some.
yeah, it was a pretty good day. That's last night I went to I'm a member of the SEIU union. We had a union meeting last night, going over what we're going to be doing for the next year.
So
I love Richard's green screen. Comes through like a planet or a monster.
Oh, you got your green screen up.
Yeah, it's a circle thing that clips to my chair.
He leans forward
it's
and
actually
looks like
working
kind of
now.
Well,
Yeah,
it does, but like I have habits from previous.
Lean forward, Richard.
Come here, Rick. Come here.
No.
Cat's in the
Like
room.
you were doing earlier. There you go.
Yeah, it's a
it
turn
comes out like a
thing that I
monster.
need to do.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, if I
No, I've
turn
got-
it, and I'm used to sort of moving in my chair, and that breaks it. And if I bring my arms up enough, it kind of breaks too. So. But it does make the standard thing lots better.
You need to wear a green t-shirt
to not move as much.
Yeah, it's wild when the weatherman walks across the screen with a green tie on.
That's why.
Hey,
for Halloween, you wear a green t-shirt. You'll be a floating head.
I have a frame for a green screen.
Yeah,
I bought about 2 or 3 years ago.
I didn't want something that I had to set up and take down so much. I looked at it and I could have had it for almost the same money, but it was one of those things of like I have to put up the frame behind me. And then bring it down every time. So I was just like not super into that as a thing, because it's like, no, I don't.
I think that's why
just sort of fold up.
That's why I didn't put it up. Mine's sitting in the closet. I don't know where the green screen itself is, though.
Yeah, like I can set this up on my chair in about 15 seconds, and it takes about 30 seconds to move it away. 30 to 45 seconds, depending. I have a little bit of trouble remembering how it's supposed to fold. Because it's sort of like one of those one-person pop-up tents. It's like a big circle that pops out, and then you sort of like make it two smaller circles, two linked circles when you fold it up, right? And then you just put it in a little bit of a tote bag. So,
you know what? I was wondering what they did with those collapsible frisbees from the 90s. They turned them into green.
I need to look at it. That's what I need to do. I need to find one of those.
They literally used to sell what you described as a collapsible frisbee. It was like a beach frisbee that would go a long ways.
Yeah. I mean, this is like, I don't know, like 4.5 feet in diameter. I can't imagine trying to throw this.
Well, I just gave you an idea. Green screen for distance.
It also has blue on the other side.
Yeah.
I wonder if it would do any better.
Does blue.
Have you tried both sides?
Well, I don't know how well I mean, everything talks about green screen, so I just use the green side. I can run an experiment one time with the blue and see if it works better, but I doubt that it'll work extremely better. But I might. Who knows? It does give me a consistent background behind me at a sort of set distance. So that part's good. No dying on air, Mark. It's against the rules.
No. Just getting a little more water.
Anybody inside to clean up the mess.
There we go.
Let's try that now. Let's see.
I just realized you can't read the bottom of my coaster.
Is that where you put them?
I don't know where they went.
Try desktop. There they are. Right there and right there. Yeah, about there.
Let's see at this back drop. Look, it's a floating head. Put your arm down.
We're frozen.
Oh well.
Yeah, it really depends which
There they are.
angle you're at.
Hmm.
They're having way too much fucking fun with this shit.
Yeah, I need to go through all the stuff I've downloaded to do that
There you go.
and figure it out.
There you go. Welcome to the Starbase.
And if you ever need to take a nap, you just back out. Well, it don't work. I guess we don't have enough green behind us.
Not yet.
Oh, jeez.
Well, when we paint, it's going to be a very, just a touch of green. Just enough to make this work. You're a mate.
Y'all talk.
Talk. I have nothing to say.
What's going on in the next couple of weeks?
There.
What's going on in the next couple of weeks?
Hmm.
Writer's block party.
Well, I don't know about Starfleet, but I know that I'll be attending Spooky Empire at the DoubleTree across from Universal. That's May 19th through the 21st. They're actually having the cast of the original Night of the Living Dead get together, a reunion.
Whoa, that's pretty good.
So you can all say that line, right? They're coming to get you, Barbara. I know that in July, Vic is going to be at the DoubleTree for a show. There's what is it? Matter of fact, I think it's coming up the 13th, which is next weekend. It's Villicon is doing an event called Bizarre World, and it's a night. It's sort of a. It's running from 10 to 6, I think. And basically, it's a little bit of everything. It's like science fiction, steampunk, all the different genres. They'll be at the Central Florida Fairgrounds.
Right.
I know they'll have anime stuff coming up too in Orlando. A lot of the stuff's already posted online.
We're doing Makers Fair, which is next weekend, and that's largely a STEM-based educational program, and we're going to break out our Artemis setup and set up Artemis for people to participate in. It's in conjunction with Roots to STEM, which the person who runs Roots to STEM is also running this one of the big STEM-based events in Calgary. There's another one called Mindworks or something like that, which is in September. That I think he also is running or is a major part of. So this is more of this is sort of we're doing a favor for them because, it does some draw, and that's 10 to 5 on Saturday and Sunday. Volcon this year isn't having a dealer's room, which is normally where we set up our Artemis there. So that's getting a revamp. So the ship's only going there as if ship members wish to go, hopefully they'll have their dealer room again next year, and then we can do our dealing.
An away mission.
Yeah. So, and then we will probably do Edmonton. Edmonton has an expo run by the same companies, Fan Expo, in September, and we will go up there and do some sort of booth slash partnership, depending on exactly who of the other ships in the region are going to be there, kind of thing. So that's likely to be maybe we'll call it like the Region 10 booth instead of doing the whole separate like each ship separately. But it's one of those things of we have to make the decision at that event, like the year, like last year, and then buy the purchase the table so that we have it. So some of the negotiating stuff hasn't been done yet. But with a table we have, so we will be doing something there. So
very good. I do have an event where CAG will have a table at Phantasm Orlando, which is a horror and fantasy show, and that's going to be the weekend of September 15th through the 17th. We may have a Starfleet group or Delta Fleet or somebody possibly coming in with us. I've been trying to get a hold of them, but these people do not appear to have phone numbers. I'm gonna have to do a little sleuthing.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and I have to appreciate that, and I just realized that there is something else where we're trying to get into the Stampede Parade, the Calgary Stampede.
Neat!
Whoa, that would be awesome.
Yeah, man.
Last year we had a selection of people who went with the Vulcan Alberta float. So we're trying to negotiate with Vulcan and be like, hey, why don't we have 15 or 20 Star Trek people rather than sort of like the sort of handful that they had last year. But it may be something we might have to approach Stampede and go alone and actually have the ships together be their own group, because if Vulcan doesn't want to give us the slots, then we could partner up with CAG and all the ships in the region and go, yeah, this is us. So here's Starfleet and CAG, and a wonderful thing, which reminds me, I have joint venture ribbons to give out on my to-do list now.
Yep.
Because we did have CAG members at our event. So we did that together as a commissioning. So yay! More forms.
Absolutely.
There are definitely days I wish I could just send them a spreadsheet and go, hi, this is all of this stuff related to this one event.
Well, you can find out how aerodynamic the forms are.
There are just
Drew.
Yeah.
When's the next time we're going to be meeting here? Off duty.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, I believe.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Okay, that sounds like a time.
Yeah, that would be, if my math is correct, the 19th.
Yeah. Just after, or is it just before Mother's Day this year?
That's the Friday after Mother's Day.
Okay.
It's the Friday before Victoria Day here in Canada.
Oh my.
2 Fridays before Memorial Day.
That's right. The 20th is Flag Day, your Armed Forces Day.
Yeah, that's correct. It is Armed Forces Day.
It's Armed Forces Month.
I have a cosplay calendar that has.
Oh, okay.
I very purposely buy this particular cosplay calendar because she is one of the few cosplayers that's just still listing holidays and stuff in her format. A lot of them have gone to a strict days only. No other information, and I'm like, I need that other information because sometimes I need to, like here, coordinate with various people in different areas in North America, and
Well,
go, when's that? Oh, it's going to be again before this date, which only is an American holiday, not a Canadian holiday, and then you do that thing, right?
all right. I put all mine on my calendar here, but sometimes I forget.
I should do that, Jeff, but I'm stubbornly pretending I'm not old and
okay, COZI. COZI. It's a app. It's free. You can have a poop load of people on it. You can have it on your computer and everything else. They're all on your phone. It's a calendar. You can have up to like 7 people on, 10 people on.
Oh.
And each one has their own little color on a marker. They can put whatever's in there. You can check real quick. What do we need? What isn't needed?
I'll think about it.
You're breathing like you're tired.
No, I'm hungry.
I am tired though.
Still have to go deal with stupid cats.
That's okay. That's okay. The cats think you're a stupid human.
That's all right. Cats, tempura, and grease. It works. Dip, fry.
Just because tempura makes those cookies taste good doesn't mean it will make everything taste good.
Did I say I was going to eat it? That's feeding the gators.
Oh, so there is a
I know,
white
that's just a crock.
Oreo cookie or a lemon Oreo cookie
The lemon.
Sure.
that you batter in tempura and fry, and then put a little bit of chocolate on it.
I just remembered that while we're sitting here, that today's the last day for the monthly status report. So I said, I better get that baby in.
I did that.
That was done a long time ago.
I
did
usually
that
do
a
it on
week
the first.
ago.
My month, the one good thing is, while it is double work because my unit report and my MSR are on the same month, it does make it easy to remember because I have to do both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So that I can send myself one of them.
Yeah, I did the MSR as we were driving up to
Kingsland.
So it was done last week.
Hey,
That's like
Steven, did you get your MSR in?
Huh?
I was talking
Steven,
to
did you turn
Steven.
in your MSR?
He's not
MSRs are due.
Congratulations. You have unlocked a new achievement. Please turn in your MSR as soon as you can.
That is an achievement.
I have to admit that I had that wonderful thing of the unit report because it comes to me as the brigade commander, and I'm like,
Right.
Yeah. So if I was late with it, do you think it'll get marked late?
Yeah.
Yes.
Huh.
But
I wonder.
Oh shoot, my bar. I meant to have my bar Latinum up here, but anyways.
I'm just wondering when they're going to report the Region 2 awards. Or
Well, it's supposed to be done by now, aren't they?
just your doorbell.
Oh.
I don't know when the I know what the marine ones are because
Yeah,
I'm
that go off.
but I'm not
Okay.
in the.
I didn't hear a dog's yell, so I didn't hear a doorbell.
What did you hear go on?
That turned on. That just turned on. It clicked. Well,
Fortunately, I'm not RC, so I don't have to worry about it.
I know that it's supposed to be turned in, but
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
I haven't seen it yet.
I'm barely able to stand.
So we have been going on for 2 hours and 13 seconds. So 2 weeks from now, we'll have another show. I think that'll be right before the Writers Con or whatever, block party.
Yep,
or
that's the 19th.
or
Writers block Writers block party.
yeah. That's what we have coming up in the next 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Plan on sleeping sometime in the next 24 hours.
Then there's a song from mine and Jeff's childhood that comes to mind. Now it's time to say goodbye to all our family.
Wait a minute, we can't say that. Wait, we're not DeSantis. They won't sue us.
Yeah.
Guess who's
Mark,
not
you gotta
getting
laugh at
reelected?
You got to laugh at that.
He just got reelected last year. That sucks.
2 years. Oh, it was last year. Wasn't it?
Well,
As a person who is currently in an election for that level of government equivalent, I'm like, can I get to the part where I vote? Because I don't need the time to make up what my mind is.
Part of our state's still underwater for the last 2 weeks. And this idiot's out of country doing a book tour.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's because he's trying to run for president.
I don't care.
Yeah.
He quit. And because the Republicans are in charge, they're saying, oh, he doesn't have to quit. He can still be our governor. No.
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 Isn't that a
That
constitutional
idiot
item?
didn't do nothing either.
Well, if I
They
understand,
asked, have you talked to him today? No, I haven't talked to him today.
from what I understand, Jeff, it is one of those things of, hi, I am doing exactly what the legal statement is, but I'm clearly using that like this is a legal thing, but I'm clearly using it for a different purpose.
Right.
Yep.
Well, we do know one thing. He doesn't have unlimited money. And he decided to take and fight the biggest rat in the world.
Right.
We've already concluded he is not smart.
Actually, as one who retired from 42 years service with Mickey, what they're doing now is, that old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Do you realize what a tax load is going to be on the people of Florida?
Oh, yeah.
There was a reason that the Reedy Creek Improvement District was created. There are 5 cities on Disney property. And all of that lovely stuff is going to be part of the fun for him. I hope it's just also in the category of be careful what you wish for.
Well, the thing of it is what they did legally. He had a chance to stop it. He didn't. He ignored it. So that was his fault.
Yep.
And now the new board goes, oh, since you're suing us, we're going to sue you. What?
Yep. Duh.
Well, and today, the legislature of your great state of Florida passed a bill to revoke what was done before by the other board just before they had to turn over power to the whatever Central Florida thing. So
That's
now
not
it's going to be a court
too
fight.
bad.
It just Florida, Santos. It is Santos. He's picking a fight with one of the largest corporations in the world now.
Yeah.
He says he's got unlimited funds. Well, he don't have unlimited funds if the people don't want him to have it. And pretty soon they're going to say, nope, we're not going to have it.
All Disney's going to say is, well, I'm going to another state. Bye.
Yeah, we're going to pick up our globe there and
at 200,000 person.
Yeah.
Plus, well, no, it's got to be way higher than that. 75,000 direct, and if you count all the vendors and all the delivery drivers that deliver, Disney caused that. Let's say about a third of the workers
income.
are a part of that. Somebody's honking. But at that point, you're looking at like influencing a third of the state's employees. Oh, good. Yeah, you're smart.
I mean, a third of the state's employees, plus their family, plus their friends, plus fans of Disney that live in Florida.
And the only reason why he's in power is all the old Republicans have retired here.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. If not for that, which means their average age during the last presidential election was 75.
Yeah, but it's going down now because a lot of them are.
Yeah. The thing of it is now we have Generation Z or whatever it is, and they are for every 5 people, 4 of them are not conservative.
Right.
So you only.
Well, they are in that generation part, right?
So you have one that's going to go conservative for every 4 that goes opposite. So at this point, because of the fact that they're not getting the influx of Republicans for the youth that they used to, that means that it's going to be a dying party.
Yeah.
You can hope.
Yeah.
Or it could wise up and move more center.
I vote we fire all the politicians.
You would think.
Vote in common sense.
As a person who lives in a state with similar or in a province with similar problems, yeah, I agree with you would think.
Yeah, I saw your I don't want to talk about this bullshit basically post.
Yeah, because I've firmly thrown into the other camp because I'm alienated completely from the one, and I'm like, hi, I like you have a two-party system. Officially, it's technically more parties, but only 2 parties can govern. Yeah. And I am literally like, look, it isn't a perfect solution. I fully understand that. I work in oil and gas. I am voting for a party that traditionally doesn't like oil and gas. However,
I want to live at the same time.
I have a leadership that's like literally like we had the person who got elected as premier because of the fact that their party, the party leader retired, probably because he saw not winning this election. I'd rather not have that on my record for future considerations in the federal game. So so he resigned. And we were like, yay! They've got to be able to find somebody with more intelligence. No.
So we run the Republican nominations off Hunger Games style.
You could only get improvement out of that.
No, we're both over 35. You go for VP, I'll go for P.
But as the other
There's
thing,
only 5,000 in Starfleet, and they're worldwide. We don't quite have that reach.
Speak for yourself, son.
yeah. Well, as a quirky thing, when she came to power, within a couple weeks, she tried to pardon someone. As premier of a province in Canada, you do not have that power. That is a U.S. governor power.
Not every U.S. governor has that.
And that's one of those
Well,
things. I mean, I don't know everything about your state legislatures, right?
Well, one of the was it Texas? The
Yeah.
cop executed the dude,
Mm-hmm.
got found guilty, and the governor's like, "Oh, I'm going to pardon him." I'm like, "Are
And
you
he
just
can't
one
do
good shot?"
No, he can't. Texas governor can't pardon. He doesn't have that power. It's in
Can't pardon
it's
all
in the
the-
hands of a commission. The commission
Yeah.
has to recommend it to the governor before he can pardon. And
Yeah.
right, there's a pretty good chance that he'll get pardoned.
They can't just do it off the top of their head. It has to be
Right.
Oh yeah, and that, but the thing from my point of view was that it was like, hi, that isn't even your government style in the province that you are sitting MLA in. Like
Now in
hi,
Illinois, they
teach
can
that
do
in
it.
grade 3.
Mm-hmm.
So all I can say is that wouldn't be a smart idea either way, because pardon a convicted murderer that proved to be racist, it tends to get you
in really hot water really, really fast.
yeah. Because then you're associated with it, and now you open yourself up for civil suit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure you could.
Congratulations, you no longer have no money.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys have a very different both civil liability and what can be sued
Right.
in Canada. So
Mhm.
I can't speak to that. Short of the rules here are tougher, but
Well,
past that, I don't know
the
anything
thing of
about
it is the guy was convicted of the crime.
Yeah.
So because he was convicted of the crime, they can sue the government because he was a government employee for damages because they employed a person that did a
Okay.
crime.
That is definitely not something you could do in Canada. Because that would even like the lawyer would laugh at you at trying it because of the fact
it's no different than a company intentionally.
You have to show that the company had a direct involvement in Canada. You'd have to prove that the company had direct or the government had direct involvement in the incident via something to make that case.
Yeah,
if you can do it in the United States, look, I don't know enough about your civil law to really make a comment.
Anywhere in the world that don't even work anymore because they got enough hidden and crap that.
Yep.
Most of the cops that do these major crimes have been slapped on the wrist so many times that yes, that government official probably is liable, even for the Canada standard.
We are called, regardless of the country we're in, we are called citizens. To them, we are called citizens.
It would vastly depend on how it was done and whatever, because we do have parts of our constitutional law that says the government is allowed to do X, Y, and this and can't be held responsible for these things because they do it because of this and this. So it would vastly depend on how those interactions collided.
Well, we have that. It says this, and they're immune to it unless they commit a major crime. Then they lose that protection. What is it called?
Yeah, but that doesn't. But the officer loses that protection, not
But because
Not
they
the
are
police.
responsible for that officer,
that would not fly here.
period.
Yeah.
They are responsible.
They are not responsible for the actions of
Of an
a
individual.
peace officer
However,
in Canada
they should
without
be
direct
because
involvement.
they are responsible because they monitor, supervise, and hired them.
That is not the
And they
cause
should
and
be
effect.
having insurance for coverage of that type of situation.
No, they should be following their constitution the way they wrote it.
But so in Canada, the government self-insures everything.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
are the government, therefore we are insured.
Yeah.
We don't use private insurance for the government. The government pays out of pocket. Basically. Even cars. Like cars and planes and stuff like that. That's all like self-assured. Which is why if you wreck a car on January 1st, it's really bad because you're basically at least short a car for a year.
Huh?
If you wreck a police car, you are going to probably be in that detachment or that police force, short that car for until the next round of buys.
Mhm.
Oh, that's stupid.
And
Because
the
they're
cycles
self-insured.
are,
So there is no money for them to pay for a new car.
they used to be, in the 90s, they were like every 11 months was their purchase cycle.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And someone told, a friend of mine that's a RCMP said they changed it to now it's literally once a entire year.
Hmm.
And that's because
And-
every government we have on this little marble of ours has fashubed so much out of the money that it ain't worth nothing. They can't actually develop the funds necessary to do what they have to do. And that's because they devalued the dollar globally.
And also like if you have a major ticket item, like rather famously, various detachments in the north, Yellowknife and Inuvik, and Iqaluit, which are all in the Northwest Territories and Nunavut. At one point, each of them had a Twin Otter. The Twin Otter from Inuvik crashed. It's $15 million. It was never replaced because they never came up with the $15 million required to repurchase that aircraft. So, and that's something that can happen. It's like they don't want to crash. They definitely don't want to crash any of the helicopters because they probably wouldn't be replaced for years if they were replaced at all.
Jeez.
So it's a quirky thing, and when it comes to the blame or hiring or litigation against the government on an employee's because of employees' action, you do in Canada have to prove that they directly contributed to it. So in the case specifically that comes to mind, there was a First Nations person who got shot by the OPP in a provincial park that they were having a dispute in because the OPP officers were told by the government of the day, the executive, that get those explicit here, not the word First Nations, but that's what I'm going to use here, out of the park. And that case was civiled, and that held ground because the fact the member of cabinet did give that direction to the OPP. That was direct line of you told them to do it.
Is that when they told them to clear out the park regardless of what you have to do?
Wasn't quite phrased that way. It was more phrased of get them out.
But that was implied.
Yes, it was an implied statement. But it was
Yeah,
definitely
exactly.
a direct statement of get them out.
So what
Yeah.
happens
Is
when
what
they
the
shoot the wrong
legality
person?
Nada.
So that was a wrongful death lawsuit that did get the government in trouble, and the government did have to settle it.
So how do they handle the officer shooting the wrong person?
I believe he was. I don't know if he. I think he was charged. I think he got manslaughter. And I think he pled guilty because I think he didn't want to go to trial and get second. Because it was one of those. He pleaded out. Is basically what he did.
I'm
He
saying
pleaded out, and he got fired.
outside of that, so an officer goes in and kills somebody else. How do they handle that?
It vastly depends on what you're saying when somebody gets. Like, are we talking about something of this person this officer directly killed someone for purposes or motive of his own?
It wasn't the suspect, and he killed the other person.
Okay, so it'll vastly depend on how that is necessarily done. Because in Canada, if I go to a criminal court, I am forgoed the civil court. If you get charged with murder in Canada, and I believe we've discussed at length this before, but if you get charged with murder, you cannot then be sued for that same action.
Okay, the cop, in doing his job, kills an innocent civilian.
Okay, so that will probably go to a review board. In a lot of places, that review board is handled by the RCMP. If it is RCMP, then there's usually an organization to sub in for the RCMP in that case. Though several provinces, like Ontario, have a civilian board that does all the investigation in those cases, and then that board makes a recommendation to the Crown prosecutor, and the Crown prosecutor takes that recommendation and then acts on it based on whether or not they think they can convict. If the recommendation is to take them to trial. You usually don't, in a case where someone dies at the hands of a police officer, you usually can only try and civil it if they don't get a recommendation of taking it to criminal court. And you don't...
So basically, a mother or father gets killed by the cop and the government doesn't help them at all. It sounds about right.
Same as our country.
Sorry, say that again, Sean.
What you just said was a cop kills an innocent person. That could be a mom and dad taking care of family.
Okay.
And now your government, because they decided to charge the guy,
Or not to charge.
leaves the people with no way to support themselves because they killed the mother or father.
Well, that's not entirely true because restitution can be part of that criminal case. Although how you're getting restitution about somebody who's doing 25 years to life.
That's what I'm saying.
You would have to get it. You'd have to get it from the government
or whatever,
because
right?
they're doing their job and they kill somebody on accident. The government should be covering that. That's
how they get the
That's
restitution
why
from
we
the
have to
government.
do the civil thing, because the government doesn't always do that on automatic in the U.S. at all.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes, I suppose.
On this
But
little
at
freaking
what
bar,
point?
that's
At
really
what
good.
point? Like, what are we putting? That also gets into that whole thing of what is the worth of a human life in that case, right? So, and what is reasonable for the government to pay?
Well, if that person's the breadwinner of the family, they better pay what they're making for the rest of till that kid or whatever is of age. That's the value of the life. Is if you kill the parent, well, you got to take care of that kid for the rest of your life.
Now you've got the variation of you're talking about a citizen. You're not referring to someone in political power. The people in
Look,
political
I
power
don't want to
everything.
get into a big thing, a big tussle about this again, because we already did this tussle once, and
Yes, twice.
I'm having flashbacks to it, and I'm like, no, this got nowhere, and we never got the other side of this anyways from each side. So I'm just like, you have a theory, and I have a practical thing based on how my government works. You have a different thing on that.
I'm trying to understand it because you have just said three different things. You said that one, if they do a criminal, they will do a thing, but if it happens to be government and they didn't specifically tell them, then this is the case. But if they don't send them to that, they can do civil. But you just said that
when they can prove that the government did not have direct impact on the event, then it falls on the shoulders of the person who did it. When they can prove the government, like the case that he mentioned, said, you go do this, essentially implying, I don't care what you have to do, get them gone, then it's the government's fault. Kind of made simple sense.
But what I'm saying is they sent that person in after somebody else, and he, even though it's accidental,
without
the government should be paying for that.
Okay, Sean, all cases that have an innocent bystander getting shot by police are going to be case by case anyways. Because you have to understand what is actually happening when it happens.
Right.
In the same way that if a car got veered off the road because of something or clipped a semi or something, and you ran into someone or you ran into a building and killed someone.
Right. But what you described,
that would be case by case of whether or not you could legitimately sit there and go after a person for millions.
He just did it the long way around.
But that's not what he said.
Oh well.
To begin with.
Let's drop it back there.
Yeah, we're about almost 2.5 hours in.
And I haven't eaten yet, so I'm probably a little hangry.
Yeah. Oh wow.
All right.
Uh-oh. Hangry Canadian, look out.
I'm just trying to understand how it works, and I'm like, okay.
It does not work like your system. We have true double jeopardy. You address an event between two systems. The problem is the government gets the first right of prosecution. You don't. The government decides if it's going to prosecute first.
Yeah.
So that means you can't always sue.
All right.
Oh well.
Several incredible articles on the entire system.
Probably.
Sounds like the Romulan or Cardassian system before the purge.
No. Actually, it's a very old foundation to their system.
Yeah.
The alterations that have gone on over the years, basically like to our Constitution. Well, no one's used this in 6 months, so we'll take that away. But we'll tell them we left this.
There you go.
I mean, arguably, like my Constitution was revised like in 82, so
Yeah.
All right. So in 2 weeks we'll be on the show again.
Yep.
Until then, sounds like food and sleep is the best thing.
Yes.
Have a nice day, and you got a couple hours to enjoy your Revenge of the Fifth. Or wait, Sixth.
Cinco de Mayo.
And if you're going to be eating the lime, have fun.
Good night. Good luck.
Take
Good night.
Your
Uber.
dog go with you.